The snow hadn't fallen yet, but the wind carried the promise of winter. Constable Elaine Marks squinted into the forest where the call had originated. A hunter's voice, frantic over the dispatch radio, still echoed in her ears. "There's a man in the woods. I think he's dead." By the time the sun rose above the frost-bitten treetops, the investigation team had cordoned off a clearing deep within Mount Cavan Provincial Park, just north of Kamloops, British Columbia. The scene was wrong in ways that no textbook had prepared Elaine for. The body lay beneath a circle of pines, stripped to the waist, eyes wide open and glassy. What disturbed the officers most wasn't just the expression, but what was missing. His heart, cleanly removed. The chest cavity had been sewn back up with red twine in an intricate crisscross pattern. Surrounding the body were markings etched into the soil, symbols that no one recognized, drawn with frightening precision. Elaine stood silently, her breath misting in the air. Her partner, Detective Mike Gray, approached with the victim's wallet. Name's Kevin Song, 32, local address in Vancouver, Asian descent, no priors. Elaine's eyes flicked back to the stitched chest. This wasn't random. This was ritualistic. Mike nodded. We need to bring in someone who understands symbols like this. Miles away in Vancouver, freelance investigative journalist Nia Tan stared at the screen of her cracked MacBook. Her fingers hovered above the keyboard, uncertain. Her last story, a deep dive into illegal spiritual retreats, had gone viral and had nearly gotten her sued. An email pinged. Subject line: Kevin Song. You need to see this. Attached were images of the crime scene, the stitched chest, the symbols, the name. Nia felt her stomach drop. She recognized the symbols. More accurately, she had seen them once before, a lifetime ago, in a crumbling notebook smuggled out of a cult compound in the forests of Sichuan, China. The group had called themselves the Crimson Sect, publicly disbanded, officially hunted, but rumors had persisted, that some escaped, that they fled west. Her phone rang. No caller ID. Nia Tane? You don't know me, but we need to talk. You're in danger. A pause. They're here. The sect never died. The man waiting for her in the cafe wore a faded green jacket and sunglasses, despite the cloudy day. He introduced himself only as Bo. You were part of the sect, Nia said, not a question. Bo nodded. Born into it. My mother was what they called a bloodbinder. I escaped during a cleansing in 2003. They were preparing to come west even then. Nia leaned in. What do the symbols mean? The ones around Kevin's body. Bo's expression darkened. It's an invitation, a ritualized message for others to follow. It means the sect has opened a gate. Kevin wasn't murdered. He was offered. Constable Marks stared at the second body. Same patterns, same red twine. This time a woman, 30 years old. Different ethnicity, but the same precise ritual. Mike whispered, It's spreading. They sent photos of the second scene to Nia, who showed them to Bo. This means they're no longer hiding, he said. They're collecting something, heartlight, life force, preparing for the eclipse. Eclipse? Nia asked. An ancient belief. When the world grows darkest, the veil between realms thins. They believe their Messiah, the Crimson Father, will return, but only if enough life is sacrificed to guide him. Bo led them north, toward an abandoned logging camp outside Prince George. It was there, he said, that the sect had planted roots. Night had fallen when they arrived. The compound was hidden beneath thick pine canopy, surrounded by crude wooden effigies. Nia's camera caught their hollow eyes and carved symbols. Inside, the air was thick with rot and incense. Animal bones, black candles, and books in Mandarin script covered the altar. They heard chanting. Elaine raised her pistol. "We're not alone." Then the bell rang, a deep, bone-vibrating sound. They were caught, dragged into the basement of the main lodge. Nia, Elaine, and Bo were bound and forced to kneel. Around them, cloaked figures chanted. A massive figure in crimson robes stepped forward, face hidden behind a wooden mask. "You were warned," the figure said. "The world you know is dying. We are the next dawn." Bo struggled. "You'll never summon him. You don't have enough." The leader laughed. "But we do. You brought the final piece." He pointed to Nia. The sky above blackened. A solar eclipse darkened the compound. Elaine broke free first, headbutting the robed acolyte beside her. Chaos erupted. Nia grabbed a nearby ritual blade, slicing her bonds. Bo took a hit, trying to protect her. The Crimson Father's vessel began to rise, a grotesque creature stitched together from sacrificed bodies, eyes glowing red beneath the eclipse. Nia lunged at the altar, spilling the blood-filled chalice. The summoning faltered. The creature screamed and turned to ash. The eclipse passed. The cult scattered into the forest. The RCMP arrived days later, finding only ashes and remnants of ritual. No bodies, no cult members. Nia's footage was confiscated. Bo survived but disappeared soon after. Elaine left the force. Nia? She published the story. No one believed her, except those who had seen the eclipse and felt the world change. And in the woods, sometimes, people still hear the bell.